Hi, Fashion Dolls. It is Fierce Female Friday, February 25th, and welcome to an all new episode of Style by Stevie. Joining me today, we have an actor, model, and activist, Noire. I'm super excited about today's interview. Today's look, we decided to go for something very casual, very simple, very chic, and straight to the point. I'm super excited about this interview, last interview for this week, Fashion Dolls. We have a great show lined up next Monday, and we have some amazing guests coming in March. So make sure you guys stay tuned. I'm super excited about today's very special guest, ladies and gentlemen. He is a model, actor, activist, and we are excited to get to know him. Fresh new face, ladies and gentlemen. Joining me in welcoming our very special guest to the dollhouse, Noire. There
Hello,
we
hello.
are. Good afternoon, TGIF, and welcome to the dollhouse. How are you?
Very good, Miss Stevie. How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent. It's such a pleasure to have you here. All right. Before we get into this interview, how has 2022 been for you thus far? I know it's been hectic. Seems like it's still nonstop with all of these things going on. So how have you been managing? How's 2022 been for you thus far?
It has been a pretty wild ride, if I do say so myself. It's been filled with a lot of opportunity. It's been filled with a lot of personal growth. Already a lot of heartbreak, but it's for the most part, I'd say that it's a very productive year, all things given.
Yes, yes, yes. And as long as you're staying grounded, because you have such a prolific career, we'll get right into that in the midst of this interview. So let's start here, Fashion Dolls. Tell us how your journey began. Tell us how your journey began and where you grew up, how many brothers, how many sisters.
Well, so I grew up right in Sarasota, Florida, uh, and essentially I had always had an inept affinity towards acting and I guess the public eye. When I was younger, I would do a lot of plays when I was 3 and 4 years old and kind of get involved in that. And that kind of lasted all throughout middle school, high school, all that stuff. And so while there are a couple of derivatives that I wanted to explore, acting always came back to me. Um, as far as that, my family's always been a major support group, especially my mother, my uncles. I have a half brother, and then my father's been quite supportive in these last couple of years for me. But I also have a lot of extended family, people that aren't blood related, that really mean a lot to me, and without them, I wouldn't have. A lot of this wouldn't be possible. It takes a lot of support, and it takes a lot of mental drain. So I'm really grateful that they support me and they're with me like they are, because it truly means a lot.
Okay, okay. We talk a lot about family here on my platform, and we believe in family values, having a strong, solid support circle and family system. And I'm glad you said extended family. It goes back to what I just said, which is that solid support circle of love and people who support you in your career 100%. You've mentioned your mom, and I can relate to that wholeheartedly because my mom was very supportive as well, too. So, what was mom's reaction when you told her that you wanted to get into acting?
Well, she is the type of person that always likes to challenge any choice that I make, whether it be good or bad. She wants it to be something that I'm serious about. Even when I first started martial arts, she was always saying, "Is this something you want to do? Why? And how you're going to achieve it?" With acting, she was essentially the same way. She understood that it was not going to be an easy path for me. She also understood that it's not everyone makes it, but she saw the spark that I had, and I told her definitively that's what I wanted to do. And if I wasn't able to do that, then I wasn't going to be happy in life. And from that moment on, she took it very, very seriously, and she's been supporting me ever since I was 3 years old, wanting to do this. And she still continues to show me the same, if not more, support now.
Okay, okay. Right, 100%, 100%. And that's for any mom. Any mom wants the best for her baby. She wants the best for her child. She wants to make sure that this is what you want to do. You know, most moms are not supportive about their children getting into the acting industry. But then when they see those checks rolling in and they get the house and everything, then they change their whole mindset. Oh my God. Oh, I was so supportive. Yeah, it happens. It's funny how it all comes along, but it's good to still have that support. At first, moms are like, okay, this sure this what you want to do? And then it leads them into the road of, okay, we're going to support 100%. So my mom was sort of like that when I created this platform. She just like, okay, you're putting yourself out there. And I'm like, I want to be as transparent with people as possible. You know, give just a little, but not too much. I still keep my life private. What's private is private to me. So Style by Stevie is like a way for me to open my velvet rope to allow people to get to know me as well as my co-host. So yeah, I'm thankful for that. So, who are some of your favorite actors? Who would you like to collaborate with in the future?
Definitely Denzel Washington and his son John Davis Washington. I have seen those two in movies, and I love their style, how they approach roles. Uh, I grew up with Denzel Washington. I think the first movie I saw by him was either Deja Vu or Man on Fire. And I absolutely love the grounded realism performance that he always brings. Besides them, Al Pacino has always been one of my favorites, and
Ooh,
Johnny Depp himself. The first movie I saw from Johnny Depp, I believe, was I think it was his debut in Nightmare on Elm Street, and I have a couple of favorite movies from him. One of my favorites is he played, what was it, Donnie Brasco, the true story about the undercover agent that went
okay. And
into
I can see, I
prison.
was watching some of your clips, and I can see a little bit of Denzel's influence and Al Pacino's influence. When gonna go down the catalog here of some of the roles that you've had. You've starred in Easter, Bloody Easter, Shape of the Past, Our First Time, At What Cost, To Twist a Tale, Free Manny. In television, you did New Jack Era, Faking Love, Atlanta, Homicide, episode 314. You did Human Nature, and you also did The Tub. So you also did production as well too on Easter, Bloody Easter. So you've had such a prolific career. Out of all of these show titles and television series that I've done, I'm just named. Which one has to be the most dear to you? Which one is one of your favorites?
Ooh, so I'd say Easter Bloody Easter would be the one that's nearest and dear to my heart. That one is significant to me because it was my first ever feature film, and I filmed that in August of last year. Now the reason that is because when I auditioned for it, I auditioned for it and it was all the way in California, which is complete other side of the country for me. But I auditioned, and the director, Diane Foster, who's a fantastic woman, saw something in my performance, and I think she said she saw my clip the first time out of everyone, and she said, "I want him." They flew me out there, and that was the greatest experience of my life. That's when I felt like all my hard work had paid off. And so that one's definitely the most significant to me.
Okay, okay. So what would be your dream role if you could star in any other projects? What would be your dream role?
Ooh, I am a really big fan of like dramatic films. Something recently that I've been trying to work on, I've been auditioning for is this movie called Steal Away. And it's a hard, gritty, realistic story that kind of fits into uh, you know Black history. And I think that stories need to be told that way in a way that isn't just buffed over by Hollywood. So I like to work with a lot of independent companies. So definitely something in the major production role of drama and action, while also telling a cohesive story. That's my ultimate goal.
Okay, okay, okay. 100%, 100%. So let's talk beauty real quick because your skin is, we're both giving it with the melanin over here. I need to know your secret. What is the secret to keeping this melanin popping? I need to know because I was paying attention to it the whole time, and I'm pretty sure the dolls were as well too. So tell us all of your secrets to this skin. It's beautiful.
Thank you, I appreciate that. So I actually wash with raw African black soap, and I have Burt's Bees products as well as this. Let me see what it's called here. It's this Shea Moisture lotion that I use, and I put that on every morning and every night, and then I spray my face with some mist, some water mist, and that keeps it pretty hydrated. Something that I had to learn along the way, though, is with black hair, it's
Yes.
not the best to shave with. So it took me a long time to be able to shave and actually get smooth skin without the razor bumps, but I finally found it. If anyone's listening out there that's having problems with shaving, there is a product out there. It's called the Aqua Blade by Wall. Absolutely fantastic. And buying that with this stuff called Tin Skin, it works every time.
All right, fellas, I hope y'all are paying attention to that. Men's grooming, definitely stay tuned for that. Make sure you're taking care of your skin for us as African Americans because the months are getting hotter, which means a lot of people are going to go to the beach. So make sure that you are basically drowning yourself in sunscreen. Protect that melanin. Protect that melanin. Make sure that you moisturize, hydrate, all of that and so much more during these summer months because I know a lot of people are going to be traveling. Make sure you guys are being safe, of course. But skincare, that is a must. Make sure that you get some sunscreen. Protect that melanin. So I just had to ask. So, all right, the next one. We're going to talk a little bit about your aspirations. Who or what inspires you and what keeps you grounded? Because I know 2021, well, 2020 to 2021 to now 2022 seems like it's so much, so much trauma and everything that's going on with this pandemic and the shutdowns. And it took a toll on a lot of producers, directors, actors, actresses out here. So how have you been managing with everything that's going on?
Well, it all goes back to that support system. My mother and my closest friends, they're the ones that really keep me pushing whenever I have those, doubtful moments. Because it does happen. No matter how confident you are, no matter how sure you are in your abilities, it kind of weighs on you sometimes, especially in this industry. So combined with them, and I also have a therapist who helps me through those difficult times. I take mental health incredibly seriously, and I think that therapy has been absolute best thing for me. So it's one of the best decisions I ever made. So I never shy away from those types of things. But when things really get weighing on me, I always have my friends to rely on, and I always give myself a little pep talk in the mirror whenever I'm feeling a little low. It's just, I tell myself, remember,
yes. The reason why I did that, because we've been talking about mental health and mental health awareness in the Black community throughout this entire week. And to be able to talk about it with you, and you've mentioned a therapist.
Yes.
Listen, I think it was Jennifer Lewis or was it Taraji P. Henson? Taraji P. Henson opened up and talked about mental health and how Black people, we're so quick to sweep our problems under the rug and say, just pray to God to go. I'm a firm believer in faith too. I pray, and I give God the thanks every day for allowing me to see a new day. My mom said, never get too big in this industry that you forget that God has put you here to where you're at in your career. And she said, make time for God too. And that's my personal intimate time with God. And everybody should have a personal conversation with God. Sit there, pray, talk if you believe, do what you need to do spiritually to take care of yourself. Because trauma, Black people, we have had that for 400 years, and we have been taught and programmed that what happens in this house stays in this house. And we have to get out of that. So I'm so glad that you've mentioned a therapist, because we have to be able to be comfortable to go and talk to people. There's outlets out here. And we've seen so many people take their lives because of depression and battling depression and mental illness within the Black community. It is literally like a poison. So find an outlet, talk to someone. There are people out here who cares. And I know for me, I get DMs, I get messages. You're more than welcome to reach out to me or DeAndre here, my guest. Anybody, reach out to someone, talk to someone, please. because I've seen stories. Again, my heart goes to Regina King and her family. I haven't seen her post anything on social media lately. I know she's still mourning, and losing a child is difficult. So, to the parents out there watching, you can definitely relate to that. I lost my sister in 2018, and I know my family's never been the same since. You know, ever since the holidays roll around, or June 29th, which is my sister's birthday, it's been difficult for us to fathom. And then that same day, which would have been last month, 2021, my cousin got married the day of my sister's birthday. So it was bittersweet. I'm like, okay, can I celebrate my cousin getting married and then my sister's birth? I mean, it's just like, okay. So my sister was the type of person that would have wanted people to be happy. You know, like hardly anyone except for my cousin cried at her homegoing. So, I mean, yeah, talk to people out here, because that trauma, that pain, whatever it is that's bothering you, is going to eat you up when you're home alone. And I struggle with anxiety, and I've been very transparent and opening up about it. I've done things in my past I'm not proud of, and I wake it up on myself, because you better tell your story before someone else tries to tell your story and wake it up on you. And I do it to myself, and I allow my supporters and my new following coming in that I'm not perfect. I've done things I'm not proud of, you know, in my past on this platform, and I've had to remodel myself and rebrand myself into this person that is just like, okay, be transparent as possible, be open and honest as possible with people, because that is the key to winning people's hearts. And I've won people's hearts, and I'm welcome into their homes. They watch on Instagram on their phone or their laptop or whatever, and that's what I wanted. I want to be as transparent with people as possible. And when it comes to mental health, when it comes to mental illness, we have to be as transparent and say this: it's okay to be not okay.
Absolutely.
It's okay to say I'm not okay. It's okay to say I'm sad, I'm depressed, I'm angry, I'm emotional, I'm feeling all of these things. It's okay to say I'm not well. I need to talk to someone. There's nothing wrong with normalizing mental health and going to sit down on the couch with a therapist. And I don't want to seem all preachy, but one more thought, and then we're going to move on, because I didn't want to, damper the mood. But this is true. I'm glad that you brought this up, because we don't talk about mental health and mental illness in the Black community enough. And I've seen what this industry, the entertainment industry, and mental health does to people. And I'm just going to drop two of the biggest names ever who are incredible performers and singers. That's Phyllis Hyman and Jimi Hendrix. And you would have never known what a person is battling behind the scenes. Prince is another one too. Michael Jackson is another one. You never know what a person is battling behind the scenes, because they make it seem so glamorized. They put on a smile, and it's a facade. It's like, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. But on the inside, you are in pain. You are sad. You are depressed.
Mm-hmm.
And you cover it up. It's like makeup. Makeup covers up all the flaws. But when you take it off, the makeup's not there anymore. It's just you. It's just you and yourself. All of your flaws, whether it's a blemish, whatever it is. Makeup is supposed to conceal and enhance your beauty. But when it comes to covering it for the other reasons, that pain that you're feeling is still going to be there. You can't erase it. So talk to someone about it. There's hotlines out here that you can call. There's prevention lines that you can call. We've seen what happened with Chelsea Christ, Miss USA. So, I mean, please talk to someone. Please talk to someone about it. And that's the last part that I'm going to say. But I'm glad that you brought that up, because it needs to be talked about enough within the Black community as a whole. We have to normalize it. Okay, so move to a lighter note, because that was heavy. We had to unpack it and talk about it, because again, this pandemic has people up in like, I don't know what I'm gonna do. Like, I'm looking at the walls, I feel like I'm closed in. I'm not able to see my family. That separation anxiety of not being able to physically touch someone. I know it's difficult. I got I got to spend time with my grandmother and my mom today. I know everybody's like, well, why doesn't she go live after 8 or 10 o'clock? For me, want to know what those times are. That intimate time is for me and my family.
Understood.
I do my shows at 4 p.m. and then after that, I log off. I make my post, log off. You got to learn when to log out of social media and unplug and go into the real world and make time for those who care.
Right.
And we do it social distance friendly, of course. It was me, my mom, and my grandmother, 3. And then our pet, I call her my little niece. She's not here with me. I was going to bring her on the show today, but just that time with them is what it's all about. Spend time with people and give people their flowers while they're here and normalize mental health. So we're going to move on to a lighter note. Had to make that other point. All right. What brings you joy and what is your why for why you act and give us this amazing content? Because you've had a range of characters. We've seen it all in your catalog of work that I just named earlier.
Well, okay, so there's a couple of things that really bring me joy these days. For one, it's just there's a lot of negativity in the world. Everywhere you turn, there's always something going wrong, and there's always something to be upset about. And I think that,
Yes.
especially when I step out, into my roles and into like my filming, and being able to, show all the youth, but especially our Black community, that it is possible and there are possibilities to be whatever you want, regardless of what society says for you, what your surroundings are, anything like that. There is a way to become who you are meant to be, and there is no other way to be. So that's what specifically brings me joy from that, and I guess that's also kind of my why. Not only because it's something that I feel like I'm destined to do, but it's because it's inspiring for people, and it's inspiring for me to be able to do this. I was told a lot back when I was in high school, and there was this one teacher that made me incredibly angry, saying that my job isn't a real job. And that angered me a little bit. I might have said some things that got me in trouble by my mother, but at the end of the day, I feel strongly about what I do. And now that same teacher sees me on commercials for her bank. So it's something that I think needs to be said to all youth and to everyone that wants to have a career that doesn't fit the normal stereotype. Those two things really bring me joy, and it really drives me into doing what I want to do, and also to give my best in each performance, because someone's watching, and someone, regardless who they are, is looking up to you. And I think it's a good thing to be a proper role model on and off sets, not only to watch what you say, what you do, but how you treat people. Because no matter how big you get, or no matter if I'm on TV or I have roles or if I'm traveling across country, I'm still a person, and I'm the same as everyone else, and everyone deserves the same equal opportunities and respect as the next person. So that's
Okay,
really the
okay.
biggest.
And I love what you say, the stereotype of certain characters. It was Leslie Jones. She said something about, actors, especially Black actors. They get typecasted and they only want to play one specific role. They only think that you're capable of playing one specific role. And I'm just like, we're multifaceted. Think of Ruby Dee. Think of, as you mentioned, Denzel Washington. All of them have played a father or a mom, or I think of the late great Sidney Poitier. He had a range of characters that he's portrayed on film. And the thing about it is, we can't get put in a box. Hey, Marcus, it's been a minute. Welcome to the dollhouse. Black actors get put in a box that you're only supposed to portray this certain type of character. And I love the likes of, as I mentioned, Taraji P. Henson, Denzel Washington, Ruby Dee, Sidney Poitier, Don Cheadle. They all have a range of different characters that they portray on film. Even Whoopi Goldberg. So, you get the best of all of it. And I wish that Hollywood would stop doing that. But Thank God for the likes of these actors and actresses that I just named. I'm doing wonderful. How are you doing? For breaking the barriers and being able to show us that we're more than just this type of character. There's so much more to us. So again, break that stereotype when it comes to typecasting.
Absolutely. That's something that I live by. I even look at roles and, I don't mind playing, a bad guy or something along those lines. I actually love those types of roles, but I want to be the bad guy for a purpose and not just for the sake that I'm black. I don't want to be a drug dealer just because I'm black. I don't want to play basketball just because I'm black. There's so much more that I can do, and that's why I'm so grateful for Diane Foster and her production company out in California. They are committed to diversity and especially women's filmmaking. And that's also something that's very important to me, being raised by my mother and my aunts. So we're incredibly big on that. So I'm really grateful that, you meet like-minded people all over the world that stand for what you believe in.
Yes, 100%, 100%, 100%. All right, fashion dolls, you guys know what time it is. And we're going to get into our games, and then we're going to take some questions from the audience if we have any, and then we're going to wrap up. All right, so the first game we're going to do with DeAndre is called the Rapid Five. And you have to tell us 5 things that you can't live without, DeAndre. The next one we are going to do is called His Thoughts. And I'm going to ask DeAndre, I'm going to drop a name of a famous actor or actress, and he has to tell me the first word that comes to his mind when we discuss these actors and actresses. All right, so the first one is the Rapid Five. What are 5 things that you can't live without?
All right. My son, my mother, my family, my personal protection items, and working out. Those are my big 5.
All right, all right. That is 5. That's 5, ladies and gentlemen. That is 5. All right. So let's get right into his thoughts. All right. In this segment, I'm going to call off the name of a famous actor or actress, and DeAndre has to tell me his first thoughts, the first word that comes to his mind on these actors and actresses. All right. So we're going to shuffle it up a bit, and I'm going to start off with Kerry Washington.
Icon.
Okay. All right. The next one is Viola Davis.
Inspirational.
Absolutely, she is. Okay. The third one would have to be the late Chadwick Boseman.
That heartbreaking is the first thing that comes to my mind.
Okay. All right, number 4. The fourth actor or actress that we're going to call off would have to be Michael B. Jordan.
Of course.
All right. The 5th one, DeAndre Noire.
Legendary.
Yes, that you are. That you are 100%. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and that is His Thoughts, where we ask our guests the questions on their favorite actor or actress, and they give us a word that describes them best. Okay. All right, so do we have any questions in the audience for DeAndre or myself, ladies and gentlemen? And my final question for you is if we have anybody that's going to type any questions or whatever. Where do you see yourself in your career in the next few years? Because we know we're almost out of this month and we're heading into March. And when you turn the corner, before you know it, it'll be 2023. So what is something that you would like to manifest going into 2023 or before or ahead? What else can people expect from you in the future, in other words?
Well, I'm the type of person that plans things out sophisticated and realistically. Last year, I said that I was going to be in my first feature film, and I was in 2. So in the next coming years, this next coming year, I expect to be pretty well known around the U.S. and then the next couple of years around the world. And I have the plans and the know-how, and as well as the talent and support to do that.
Okay. All right. All right. Do we have any questions or comments for myself, for DeAndre. Ladies and gentlemen, this was such a great conversation. Great conversation. And I hope you guys took something from this. We talked about mental health in this interview today. We've been kind of talking about it briefly throughout the whole week in some of my interviews. So again, please make sure that you are out here taking care of yourself, because I know, yes, I know it can be hard. I know it can be hard with everything that is going on, but make sure that you are taking care of yourself spiritually, mentally, and physically. We have to, or it will wear you out. It will literally drain you. So make sure that you are staying in tune with yourself. If you believe in God, or if you believe in anything, make sure that you go and talk to someone. Talk to someone, please, before it's too late. So we're going to wait and see if we have any questions, ladies and gentlemen, before we conclude this interview. This was such a great conversation. Such a great conversation. And we hope you guys have learned something from this as well. So I'm going to see if we have any questions. I see you, Liz. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Liz. And A-Wix Hammy. Welcome, 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 welcome if you're just joining into the dollhouse. I don't think we have any questions. No one typed anything. So I'm going to let DeAndre take it away with some final words, and you can let everyone know where they can follow you, if you have any projects coming up, and your social media handles and everything like that. So what advice would you give to someone who is looking to become an actor? Because not only are you an actor as well, but you model as well too. So what advice would you give to someone who's looking to get into this industry?
The first thing I would say, of course, everyone says to never give up and follow your dreams, and that is true. But I think the biggest thing to take away is to know the industry, know the business behind acting, because there's a lot more than just going into a room and doing your thing. There's a whole business side to it. Get to know that. Get to know what character types suit you best. Few people are gifted with being, just range is massive. I'm more of a dramatic and serious actor, not so much comedy, but we're working on that. But there are some people that are gifted to do everything. But know what best suits you, and then find some people to be able to help you, whether that be other people in the industry or agents or an instructor or coach, and always hone your craft. And never stop learning. There is never a moment where you will know everything, and that goes through life as well. So always seek more knowledge is what I would say.
And we hope you guys stay tuned to that. Let everyone know where they can follow you, and if they can expect anything from you in the future.
Alrighty. Well, of course, you can follow me at Captain Midnight, Captain_MIDNYTE on Instagram. You can follow me on my professional page on Facebook at DeAndre Noire, and also on IMDb, which is my name, DeAndre Noire. You can expect a couple of new projects from me this week. My feature film comes out this year in theaters. I have a couple of new projects in the works that I can't really talk about, and then we have Shape of the Past coming to film festivals around Florida and France.
All right, Fashion Dolls, there you have it. Thank you so much for coming to the Dollhouse. It was such a pleasure having you here, and I would love to speak with you again in the future. Your energy is amazing, and we both clicked on talking points on certain things, so definitely don't be a stranger.
You as well. Thank you so much, Stevie. I appreciate the opportunity.
You are so welcome. Take care, you guys. No show tomorrow. 2 days of a weekend off, Saturday and Sunday. Never happened in history. It's been busy this entire week. So we have a very special guest Monday. March, we have some amazing guests coming on. So make sure you guys stay tuned and follow us here on Style by Stevie Daytime. Tuesday, Johnny hopefully will be back to join me for some topics. We love you. You guys, please be safe this weekend. I know you guys are going to try to go out, shop, and do things. Make sure you guys be safe and take care of one another. And again, take care of yourself too mentally. Talk to someone. We love you and take care.